This is a party.
Yeah, here you go. All right, so like any good party, we're going to be talking about medical and travel insurance, because that's what a party is, right? So we actually did receive some questions on some YouTube comments during the week, and so we're going to cover that while you guys are coming up with some more questions for us. So we're going to start with a question from Brody that asked on YouTube. Do you want to ask the question?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've done some questions. Yeah. So Brody on YouTube asked, hey, I have a question about travel insurance while on a working holiday visa. Can I purchase travel insurance for the duration of my flight and then the first week of being in New Zealand, then purchase local medical insurance? Or do I have to have travel insurance during my entire stay? Love your videos, heading to New Zealand in 2 months, and your videos have been a huge help, so thank you.
All right, so for medical and travel insurance in New Zealand, we receive a lot of questions because there seems to be a little bit of confusion. So I'm going to address a couple of different points right here. If you are just visiting New Zealand as a tourist, it is not mandatory to have a medical and travel insurance, although obviously it is recommended. New Zealand has a very good, a very good health system where it's called ACC, so Accident Compensation Cover, I think, or Corporation, or something like that. And basically, it means that anyone that gets hurt in New Zealand can go to the hospital and it's free or heavily subsidized, meaning that you don't pay too much. So if you're just visiting New Zealand, let's say you break your arm, you can go to a hospital, you won't be denied cover because you don't have your insurance or anything like that, and your bill won't be tremendously expensive. You will still have to pay a little bit, but it won't be crazy expensive. So that's for if you're visiting New Zealand. Now, a lot of people come to New Zealand with a working holiday visa. Now, a working holiday visa is only available from about 42 different countries, and it allows you to come to New Zealand to work and travel for up to a year, sometimes 2 years, and it's a very specific program. Now, as part of the condition of this specific program, you have to have a medical and travel insurance for the length of your stay. That means that it's part of your visa. If you do not have this, you may be denied entry in New Zealand when they check if you have all the paperwork. So you absolutely have to have that. Now, a lot of people tell me, oh, Robin, I'm coming to New Zealand on a working holiday visa, but I'm not 100% sure how long I'm going to be staying in New Zealand. Maybe I'm only going to stay 3 months. Maybe I'm going to stay a year. So I'm not really sure what to do. So how do I prevent this? So one of the good ways to do it is to kind of do it for about 3 months. So you get 3 months of insurance and then to renew if you need. Or if you're sure you're going to be staying a year, get the whole year, because it's always cheaper to get a longer period of time. If you take 12 months of insurance, it is tremendously cheaper per month to take only a 3 months or only a 6 months. So think about that in that way. Now, the comprehensive medical and travel insurance, which is the thing which is mandatory with a working holiday visa, needs to include quite a few things. It needs to include both travel insurance, obviously, and also medical insurance. There is a lot of different covers which are offered by credit card companies, banks, and even insurance companies from overseas. Like, let's say you're from the US and you have a medical insurance over there that covers you for a certain amount of time in your country of arrival. This usually doesn't cut it because it's not specific enough to what you're doing, and it doesn't provide comprehensive enough cover. So don't think that just your credit card insurance is going to be enough, or your Medicaid insurance in the US is going to be enough. You actually have to have something bespoke, specific to what you need. So there is different kind of school and train of thought. There is like world nomads and all those kind of things. But all the insurance companies, they're located overseas, and they just basically give the same thing to everyone, and they kind of hope it works, right? We tend to prefer to get something local because they know the market better, because when you pick up the phone in New Zealand, they know what you're talking about, they know where the hospital is, they know all those kind of things. So we actually recommend a company called Orbit Protect, and we'll put a link to you guys, a link to them in the description below if you want to. But yeah, it's a pretty easy insurance to get. It's quite cheap, and you can actually get the insurance for the whole year for under 400 New Zealand dollars, which, it's basically one of the cheapest that I could find, even when I arrived in New Zealand many years ago. So yeah, so it's quite cheap, and so it covers everything. Now, for when you get your medical and travel insurance, there is multiple different components. So I'm just going to refer to the notes quickly, so I can cover all the different kind of sections that we have. All right, cool. So the first thing that you need to decide for your medical and travel insurance is your cover length. Obviously, we just talked about it. You have to have one for the length of your stay, but since you are not 100% sure how long you want to stay, well, at this point, you are you just pick whatever you think you're going to be staying here. If you are just visiting New Zealand, you usually know how long you're going to be staying, so it's easy peasy and you can go with it. Actually, I think this Orbit Protect insurance, they have something for tourists, which obviously would be much better to get that straight away for tourists. So check the website out and see.
And they also have insurance for students as well, if you're an international student.
Yeah, because a lot of international students need to have this insurance as well. So check the link. I don't work for them, so I don't know that. But check
we'll add the link in the description when we do the rebroadcast of this video, so you guys can just have a browse through that website yourselves.
All right. So so it covers travelers, students, and working holiday makers. Now, let's go back to the working holiday visa. So you need a comprehensive medical and travel insurance. So you need to have a medical evacuation covered. You need to have luggage covered. You need to have work cover as well, because in the working holiday visa, you're going to work and travel. So you need to have all those kind of things as well. You need to have transit and also disrupted travel. You need to have all those little components in your insurance. There is quite a few things which are excluded, and the main point of confusion for people when they pick a travel insurance for their trip to New Zealand is usually the excess. So how does that work? You have an insurance that had an excess of 250 New Zealand dollars, for example. This means that if you do have a bill of $120, you're getting no money back from your insurance because it's lower than 250. If you have a bill of $250, you're getting no money back from your insurance. That means you have to pay that. However, if you have a bill of $350, you are getting back $100 because you remove the excess out of it. So that's basically how the excess works. So think about that when you are making your plans. Now, those kind of insurance also don't cover your normal general practitioner, GP, your normal doctor. Basically, you are not able to go to the normal doctor, and usually it costs between $20 to $45 depending where you go, and they pay for it. It's not like how it works. You go to the doctor, you pay for it, and you also pay for your prescription. Now, for more experienced doctors, again, it's about between $20 to $45 in prescription.
For overseas travelers, it's around $80.
No.
For a doctor consultation.
No.
Well, you probably went when you a long time ago, but
okay,
it's $80.
Oh, maybe $80. Okay, so $80. I think that's too much, but tell us when you guys go to the doctor in New Zealand, come back on the video and mention it. But yeah. So your prescription from experience, they're very subsidized, so that can be up to just $5 or $10, so it's rather cheap. But yeah, so know that this is not included in your insurance. And also there are something which are usually not included in the basic insurance, like cover to certain items. So like you won't have your personal possession, like your laptop, for example, or your phone or anything like that covered, but you can request to add that as an add-on. So you can say, hey, I have a laptop which I think is worth $1,000. Can you cover that? And if yes, for how much? And they will actually give you a code and say, oh, this is how much we charge you for that.
Another point on top of that is that usually extreme sports are covered in insurance as well. And a lot of people do come to New Zealand in order to do maybe surfing, skiing, some other crazy stuff like skydiving, that sort of thing. That extreme sports category isn't covered in your normal insurance, but you can usually have that as an add-on.
Yeah. And finally, the last thing that wasn't my list, but finally, one of the last things that is not covered is usually what is covered by the ACC. So as mentioned, the ACC is kind of the universal cover in New Zealand, and there are something that, well, it's just not, they cover, so the insurance is not going to pay you twice. So ACC will cover something, you cover the excess of the insurance, and then the insurance cover the rest. That's basically how it works. So the first part that kicks in is the ACC, which is the universal cover. The next part is you with your excess. So if your excess is $250 or $500, that's what you pay, and then the insurance pays the remaining. Now, when you get insurance, you will get a little certificate that you should carry with you that will allow you to enter New Zealand and prove that you have this medical and travel insurance. And also, it's just a good system. You can show it at the hospital if something happens. So yeah, and that's basically everything you need to know about medical and travel insurance for New Zealand, for both the working holiday visa, being a student in New Zealand, as well as
being a tourist.
Being a tourist in New Zealand. The best thing is always to kind of shop for it on your own. That's why we actually did some articles about that on BackpackerGuide.NZ. Anything which is included in your student package, in your in your visa helper package, in any of those kind of things, usually they are rather overpriced. So that's why we decided to actually dig deep, try to find something which works. And so we put a few links in the description below for you guys. And if you do find that useful, like and subscribe. That's always helping us a lot. All right, let's get back to live chat.